Hey there, this is Darren. Day 89 of 90. I got the bags under my eyes. Just finished up a 2-day event with my buddy Henry DeVries and Write the Right Book. It was really cool. I love watching him work. It's almost hard for me because he's leading this one. I got to kind of step back and let him do his thing. And it's like I want to keep going up there. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I have my 2 cents here and there. But here's the message for you. Are you leaving it all on stage? And meaning, is your intention so good and so audience focused, audience outcome focused, that you leave it all on stage? You've got this one tiny window, or maybe a bigger window if you're doing an all-day event, where you can influence. We get this privilege. I love Naomi Rhodes' back in 1996, I think. Naomi Rhodes' NSA convention theme, which is the privilege of the platform. And when you and I get on stage, hey there, John, hey, Rebecca. When you and I get on stage, we have this privilege, we have this opportunity in the audience's lives. And I think I said this in one of the past days, but it's worth repeating, because this is one of the brilliant lines that Mark Brown said to me that I carry with me most of the time. I'm going to be honest here, most of the time. And what that line was is every once in a while when I would start lusting after the trophy and stop focusing on the audience and start focusing on the trophy, Mark would reel me back in and remind me. And the phrase that he got me to say was, ask yourself, Darren, you have the privilege of 2,000 lives for 7 minutes. What will you do with that? Even if you're a Toastmaster at a Toastmaster meeting, talking to 10 people, you have the privilege of their life for 7 minutes. Maybe it's only 10. It's still a privilege, and it's still for 10 people. And I got to be honest, Henry was leading the way, and I was secondary, so I was running the event. I was helping with cameras and the focus and switching cameras and kind of producing the event. And I was adding my 2 cents as I went along. But I started thinking about my book because Henry was teaching about your book. And so I started getting caught up on what I was learning. And I have to almost keep reminding myself, no, wait. Their outcome. So I'm being honest, that I didn't always bring it, and I didn't necessarily leave it all on the stage. And when I reel myself back in, I do get adamant. I am exhausted now. I couldn't wait to go, still recovering from having a cold, and I couldn't wait to go to Panera Bread, just get my little bowl of soup, my half a chicken Funtanga sandwich, take my monkey suit off, put my sweats on, and I just, now I got to go and I got to get the recordings up from the event for the attendees so they'll have them by tomorrow morning. There's so much still left to do, but I'm exhausted. I also have a speech tomorrow for TLI, for Toastmasters here in Las Vegas. I did good, feeling like I left most of it on stage, but honestly, there were times when I started thinking about me and my book and got caught up in it. So, number one, after the fact, don't beat yourself up. Just say, okay, what can I do tomorrow? What can I do next time I get the privilege? And set that intention to make sure that it's there. It's about them. But I learned this. Hey, Amy, how are you? I learned this principle from, recently reminded again from Mike Rayburn, who said, you got to leave your blood on the stage. It's all about them. You got to be all in. I remember a great story that I heard, and I can't even tell you which speaker I heard it from. It was one of the legends, and he was talking about James Brown. And James Brown, when he was in his older years, he would still go down on the stage because that's what he was known for, and his knees would be bloody from throwing himself down on the stage on his knees and doing what James Brown was known to do. And he was pulled aside and said, well, why do you do that? It's a concrete stage. You're 70 plus years old. And I always remember the story because it hit me. James said, well, there's somebody in the third row that they saved up their whole paycheck just to come see me do that. And I wish I could quote it perfectly, but that's how I remember it. And it still resonates with me, and it kind of reflects back to the whole, I think it was Joe DiMaggio, when he would race out and sprint out on the field. And people asked him, well, why do you do that? Why do you sprint out every single time? It's just going out on the field. And he said, yeah, but there's people in the stands. There's young boys in the stands that this could be their very first game. Well, you and I are on stage. We may never, ever be in front of those people again. And we may be able to tell our stories. We may be able to be doing really good. But are we truly taking full advantage of every single moment and giving them every single thing, every ounce of energy, every best story, taking notes, with an all-day seminar like I was leading the past 2 days with Henry, taking notes of things that I want to say when my next opportunity, when Henry's done and it's my turn. Are we truly all in for the audience? If this is what we want to do, if this is what we choose to do, I still think of what my dad said. I don't care what you want to do, just be the best. Well, how would somebody who's the best at what they do act? And you and I need to check ourselves. Are we truly having the habits and doing the actions of people who are the best at what we do? Are we setting up the room the best? Are we there early? Are we doing our homework? I'm recovering from a cold, which is another reason I'm exhausted. But am I doing everything I possibly can? And I'm checking myself right now. The other thing I need to do is day 89, I didn't want to miss a day. And I need to get to bed early because I got to get up early and do this again tomorrow for the TLI here. So make your decisions. But are you leaving it all on the stage? Are you truly looking at what you and I do as a privilege when we get on the platform? Whether it's a huge keynote speech, whether it's 10 people at a Toastmasters club, whether it's 10 minutes, 10 people at an all-day workshop or 2-day workshop like I just did. And on Monday I have a keynote here in Vegas or Tuesday for Miracle Year. So I was also doing part of my interviews for those people and preparing. But I've got to prepare like a champion. Just because I got a trophy years ago doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for this audience. For those people who be in front of me tomorrow, maybe the only chance I ever get to serve them. And you and I got to have that mindset. I'm telling you, I'm reminding myself. We all need that reminder. Sometimes as speakers, presenters, experts, we're professional reminders. And I might be rambling on, and it's because it's been a long day and I'm tired. But I got to do my challenge here. I got to lead by example. Remember, you have a story. Someone needs to hear it, as I learned from Mark Brown. But inspire people by example. Would we want to hear you on stage if we knew how you operated off stage? Thank you, Amy. It's very sweet. I appreciate that. Well, I got to wrap it up for the night, get to bed early so I can get a full night's sleep in to get up early for Toastmasters TLI here in town tomorrow. So I hope I wasn't rambling too much, but I did my time. So hopefully you got something from that. Thanks for listening. Please tell your story. You got a story, you have a perspective. The only way you're going to find your voice and improve your voice is by getting out there and using your voice. Jeff Stein, Amy, use your voice. Help people. Hey, Daniel, you too.